The time has arrived. Logan Fowler, senior writer at thewarreport.com, joining me on today's pregame show. Logan, I want to thank you for joining me today. This is going to be an interesting one here. Auburn takes on Texas A&M, or should I say Texas A&M takes on Auburn here, since Auburn is traveling to College Station. The Aggies versus the Tigers. Everybody on game day picked A&M this morning.
Yep.
Zero faith in the Auburn Tigers. On today's pregame show, we're going to talk really quickly about what we expect in this one. I called this one 33-17. That made a lot of Aggies fans upset. Which Auburn Tigers team will we see today? Big news. I want to make sure everybody is up to date. Horatio Fields broke his foot in practice this week, so Perry Thompson will get the start today. Talk to me, Logan. How are you feeling on the eve of this one? You picked Oklahoma last week. You picked Auburn this week. You were right last week. I went with Oklahoma initially, and then the bug took me over. But this week, I'm feeling a little bit more grounded, and I feel like Auburn's got a good shot in this game.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm interested to see how Auburn responds after such a controversial loss last week. It's pretty crucial that they flush it and rebound. Like, right, you got to move on. This is, me and you talked about it in our Friday segment. It kind of feels like a must-win for Auburn. It's a big game for Freeze, big game for Auburn. Everybody who objectively looked at Auburn's schedule before the season started said that Auburn's got to get out of this 3-game stretch starting last week with at least one win, and what better time to do it than now? Right. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think Auburn's got a good shot in this one. I don't think that Texas A&M is quite as feisty on defense as Oklahoma is. I think that there'll be a step up on the offensive side from a week ago. And, obviously we talked about Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, Marcel Reed. Those guys have been pretty dynamic leading that Aggie offense so far. But for me, the biggest thing that I want to see is penalties, man. I want to see Auburn clean up the penalties. Auburn has given up 276 yards per game.
Yeah.
Way of penalties, which is like 120th something in the nation. You can't win on the road against the top 10 team in such a hostile environment if you're committing 13 penalties for 85 yards like you did a week ago. Once you get some momentum rolling on offense, keep the chains moving. Don't set yourself back with false starts and holds. Don't give up free, easy downs on third and longs due to penalties. Stuff like that's what I want to see. And then I obviously want to see Auburn get back on the ground this week. I need to see Jeremiah Cobb, Damari Austin, Jackson Arnold get things going with the legs, kind of open up that offense, help Jackson out. You don't want to see him drop back another 48 times this week, I think.
Yeah.
So, and again, the Aggies defense have been pretty susceptible to giving up some big plays on the ground. So, it's in favor of Auburn, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we definitely will see how it goes here. Look, man, it's going to be interesting. Logan, give me your key to the game. What's your one key to the game here today for Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I just mentioned. I like to see Auburn get the ground game going, but since I already mentioned penalties and the run game for Auburn, I'm going to go with Auburn's secondary. Big news, you get Jay Crawford back this week. He's fully healthy, it looks like, according to the SEC availability report. So you're going to be at full strength on the back end of that defense. And you're going to need it because, again, we've talked about how potent that Aggies offense, passing offense has been. Mario Craver leads the SEC in receptions. I think we mentioned this on the Friday segment. 28 out of the 33 combined by the two of Craver and Concepcion have gone for a first down or a touchdown. Both of them possess ability to make a play after the catch. And then, Auburn, the past couple of weeks have been, they've looked a little bit stronger tackling and defending the pass as a whole. So, again, I think that's my one key to the game is can you make Marcel Reed and this Aggie offense kind of one-dimensional?
Yeah. Can you keep the offense going in the second half here? I feel like the passing game's going to have to come up big today if they expect to win this game. But also, can Auburn get back to their running ways, control the ball on the ground, and make sure that you are taking the ball out of their hands with your offense. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get to your comments here. I appreciate everybody for joining in. Drop your super chats. You want us to see it. It's rolling fast here to start. TK comes in. Ward, damn Eagle, y'all beat Texas A&M. Is everyone seeing what Nordy is doing in Arkansas right now? Oh my goodness. Yikes. Notre Dame.
Yeah, Arkansas might as well not even put a defense out on the field at this point.
Oh my God. Yeah, they are getting absolutely torched right now. Ernest Vaughn comes and says, Wardham Eagle, big dub today, guys. Statement win. This would be a statement win. This is something you and I have talked about, that lack of a signature win for Auburn here, and this would be definitely a signature win. What did Texas A&M move? 9 in the country right now?
9. Look,
right?
this would be Auburn's first road win against a top 10 team since defeating number 7 Ole Miss in 2014.
Yeah. Damn. C Child 96 says hated for T Will because he might be looking for another gig soon. Travis Williams, he's referring to former Auburn linebacker, now the defensive coordinator at Arkansas. Good friend of mine. I hate it for T Will as well too, but I mean, he is a really, really good guy. So I appreciate T Will, man, and what he's doing up there, but it might be a little rough for them. Archie going the way we thought, can't lead the SEC and transfer portal exodus and expect to win. Yeah, it's I see y'all are watching that Arkansas game today here. Cedric's Fuller says Texas A&M like big plays, and that might play in our favor because we get killed on drags and slants. Their offense seems very boom or busty to me, and if you can make it more bust than boom today, then you have a chance here. This is, make no mistake though, even though Marcel Reed sub 60% completion percentage, he can make you pay. If you leave, if you bust the coverage, he can make you pay, and these receivers can go get it. Mario Craver, not only one of the best in the SEC, but one of the best in the country. So look, contain him. It's going to be hard. Pick your poison. I feel like this wide receiver. I like Auburn's wide receiver room. This Texas A&M receiver room just as dangerous. Lawrence Robinson, literally no playmakers on defense for Arkansas. Philip Coleman, 27-24 Auburn with a game-winning field goal by McPherson. Hope that field goal is within 35 yards.
Yeah, Nathan King just reported on Twitter that Alex McPherson hit a 57-yarder in pregame warmups.
Woo! I love that. They're going to need him today. Mm-hmm. The lack of a kicking game kills you in this one, and it has changed fundamentally how Auburn treats certain offensive situations. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. Keep the comments coming, guys. Chief on the Hennessy, but it came up with her own change, brisk strawberry watermelon. I think this is a drink that he's having for today. I'm not sure what's going on there. TK. Lawrence Robinson says, can we finally connect on the slant pass? How is Simmons or Singleton not getting those routes? I would like to see some sort of quick passing game today. I think it killed them versus Oklahoma. A lot of those plays felt very slow developing, Logan. And I'm not sure that Texas A&M is going to be able to get after Auburn the way that they don't have R. Mason Thomas.
Yeah.
He came in and just was like a wrecking ball out there, and it really, really killed Auburn in the second half. So it's going to be interesting to see here. TK says it's good. She almost okay. All right, guys, you guys with this stuff. I don't know if you're watching this game. Robbie Ashford has Wake Forest tied up. It was they were winning. I think Robbie got hurt. I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one ends. Watching from St. Pete, lots of love for Auburn here. Okay, all right, from St. Pete. Let's jump back into our conversation. Logan, the Auburn running back, Jeremiah Cobb, Damari Alston, it feels like no one's talking about the Auburn running game coming into this one. And I'm a little surprised at it. I know there wasn't much to say about it last week, but as I mentioned, Oklahoma uniquely equipped to shut down the Auburn running game, but also shut down their running game. So I feel like this is a bigger storyline in this game than most people are giving it credit for. Almost nobody giving it credit for. What kind of day do you see on the ground from these running backs?
Yeah, you got to have a bigger day than you had a week ago. And I think that, again, we talked about it. The Aggie defense has been they've been less than stellar against the run. They gave up 200 plus yards to UTSA. They let Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame kind of run all over them. And I think that Auburn's got a better staple of backs than Notre Dame does. I think I would put Jeremiah Love maybe as a better complete back than what Auburn has. But Auburn can hit you with so many different guys if you add in Jackson Arnold. And I think that Auburn's going to have a little bit of a better day. I could see them going for 150 to 170. I would like to see it kind of be balanced at the end of the day in the stat sheet, because I do think you are going to have to throw the ball against them. I think that they're also I think you can get big plays through the air against this Texas A&M defense as well. I think there's going to be no doubting that against whoever Auburn plays, with how talented Auburn's wide receivers are. But again, look, Auburn's offensive line has been pretty good in the run game, especially in the middle. Those guys have been pretty good, led by Connor Lew and Jeremiah Wright. Jeremiah Cobb's got to get his touches this week. He's second in the SEC with 375 yards rushing. Barely, I think he had a little over 10 carries last week, but he had the 44-yard run to put Auburn in the red zone, and then you go away from him. I don't necessarily want to see that this week. I want to see, if you get somewhere because of the run, keep pounding it until they stop the run, and then let's spread it out and get the ball to your playmakers outside. But look, crazy stat here. Auburn had 13 rushing touchdowns all of last season by 3 different players. They've already had 5 players score a rushing touchdown this year, and they're at 11. So they're 2 away from matching last year's total through 4 games.
Wow.
I could see that, being broken today. I think that you'll see a couple from J.A. and from Cobb and Damari Austin as well.
Yeah, look, man, end of the day, if you're Auburn, you have to sustain drives. And you've got to get back to running the football. We'll see what they can cook up here. And if they sell out against the run, then you need to be able to hit them over the top and get some things going through the air. Now, Perry Thompson, let's switch to talking about. As I mentioned, he should get the start today. Big time for him. We put out a segment this week. It's his time to shine. Sometimes you hate it for Horatio, but if you're Perry Thompson, your time is now. Because this is not an injury that Horatio is going to come back from next week. He's going to be out for at least a couple months here, if not the rest of the season. Broken foot. What kind of day do you see from him today? He's got plenty of chemistry with Jackson Arnold. It's just a matter of whether Jackson, I think, trusts him or not to throw the ball up to him the way he did to Cam Coleman against Oklahoma. Like, good grief, Jackson was just like, go get it, Cam. And I think Perry has the same ability to be able to be that kind of like surprise thing in this game that you don't have a ton of tape on. I'm interested to see how Texas A&M defends it.
Yeah, you talk about the trust with Jackson Arnold, and the trust between him and Horatio Fields was on full display throughout the first 4 games. Horatio Fields was a pretty good, reliable guy you could throw it up to on third down. You saw it in the Baylor game. You saw it last week on a couple of third downs. Like he was pretty sure-handed receiver, and that's definitely a big loss. But like you said, man, Perry Thompson's got the ability. He's got the talent. Last season as a freshman, didn't get much run, and throughout the whole offseason, you heard him and Marcus Davis talk about, look, and I wasn't quite ready to make my mark in the SEC. A full year of development. He wasn't even here last spring. He was a later enrollee in February. So, a full offseason with strength conditioning, a full offseason to get a grasp on the playbook, develop a rapport with Jackson Arnold and the other receivers. I think you could see Perry Thompson make his mark on this game. I don't necessarily think he's going to, have a breakout game such as Cam Coleman had last week. But
yeah,
as long as Perry Thompson can do what he's supposed to do within his routes, find the open spots, find the soft spots of the coverage against the A&M defense. I think Jackson Arnold's going to look his way, and I think that you can expect to, based on what you see today, I think you can expect to see that continue moving forward.
Yeah. Let's get back to some comments here. We are about 14 minutes away from kickoff. Lawrence Robinson says Cam Coleman had a field day against Texas A&M last season, and their safety is out. We should have a good offensive day today. I think a lot of Auburn fans hope you're right there. RPO using Eric and Malcolm to grab the eyes of the defense, hit Cam and Perry deep. Damari Alston and Cobb need to eat today along with Jackson Arnold and hit them out of the backfield on swing passes. Something we saw versus Oklahoma, those guys catching the ball out of the backfield. Would love to see more than that. Like Jeremiah Cobb is a very good pass catcher. Damari Alston showing off something there on those swings. You've got to hit them multiple ways today, and I think that it's a good day for Auburn offensively. Alan Brooks says, man, Coach Hugh Freeze doesn't at least try to run more today, including Jackson Arnold, we're doing, and we're due to stop saying what we're doing. There's no indication here that these guys won't try to run the ball, right? Like they're going to try to establish the run. We saw it versus Baylor on the road, and I mean, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you can run the football on the road, you have a much better chance of winning the game. But grind it out, long, demoralizing drives on the ground, but you've got to finish. Red zone offense, big bugaboo for Auburn last year. Now you've got Cam Coleman. We saw him catch a fade for a touchdown. You've got weapons. You've got multiple ways to get that thing in the end zone this year. So hopefully they can get that done today. D-Lev says, hope we can get pressure on the QB. Been hearing all week about A&M's big veteran offensive line. They're good. Hugh Freeze noted this is going to be a much tougher task for the defensive line than Oklahoma was. It's no way around it. This is a very good offensive line. So, yes, pressure would be great. TK says, Wildcat is on deck in Atlanta at my house, but can't touch this early. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. There was another comment here that I wanted to get to. Oh, yeah, we got a super chat here from Blake Kraft. He said, move kickoff to 2:40, I believe. So we are about 20 minutes out. Appreciate that, Blake. With the update there. We're still going to get out of here at 2:30 and let you guys get settled in. Devin says, where you go, family. My son got baptized this morning. It's been a crazy day so far, but we are ready for the game. I know we are ready as well, too. Devin got a super chat here from Jazzy Joe. Says 300 for an Auburn win. Let's go. Jazzy, what do we get for Jackson Arnold passing touchdowns? That's what we need in this game. I think he was giving away like 100 for Cam Coleman touchdowns last week. So we only got one. But I'd like to see some
300.
300 for Cam Coleman touchdowns. Yeah, I like that. Kyle Sweat says, I want to see a game plan similar to Baylor. Grab a few yards on a run and grab a few yards on some quick comebacks. We can get this W. This is a win. This is a winnable game. A lot of doubts in Hugh Freeze is what I've seen so far. A lot of doubt in Hugh Freeze. It's tough, man. Like Auburn is better than most people are giving them credit for, but you got to go out and get a win like this if you really want to change minds and change perception here. That's what I'm seeing. You've got to just get one, Logan. Let's see here. I picked Auburn today. Efficient Gaming says, sadly, please let me be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Okay, this is an A&M fan. I don't know if I.
No, he said he picked against Auburn today.
Against Auburn today. Okay, There we go. I was like, wait, what? I'm confused. Auburn Dad for Life, 25th wedding anniversary, sitting here at the Mexican restaurant, waiting on Auburn to win War Damn Eagle. Hey, happy anniversary, Auburn Dad. Member for 55 months, Logan. Auburn Dad has been riding with us for a while. We appreciate his membership. And then let's see. Auburn was in the game last week, and this week we're the better team. A lot of people would argue with that notion, but I do think I do think Auburn is the better team this week. But the better team doesn't always win, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. Chess Rockwell says, Cameron, I'm at my best. I'm the best man at my best friend's wedding. He's a Bama fan, of course. All right. Chess also says, coming back at halftime, Mike. Yes, I will be here at halftime with you guys. Going to be a lot of fun today. Jazzy Joe with the super chat says 50 for East Jackson Arnold touchdown and Cameron Coleman TD. So that's 100 if it's Cam Coleman. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
That's what that sounds like to me. I don't know. I don't know about you, Logan, but that sounds like 100 if it's Jackson Arnold and Cam Coleman. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun watching what these guys can do today. Let's talk about the defense here for a second. DJ Durkin going up against a school he used to coach at. And all eyes are going to be on this Auburn secondary. They've got to find a way to slow down Mario Craver and company. Going into the Oklahoma game, there was a lot of doubt about how they would do against John Mateer. Now, reports are coming that maybe John Mateer was playing with a broken hand most of the game. I hate when they put these reports out after the game. Like, it sounds like, oh, we didn't pass for a bunch of yards because his hand was broken the whole game. Was it his throwing hand? Do you know?
I don't know if it was his throwing hand or not.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't his throwing hand, then I don't really care. But I thought Auburn did a good job defending the pass last week. I thought even though they didn't get him to the ground as much as I would have liked, I thought they did a good job flushing Mateer out of the pocket here, and it's going to be a different task for it's going to be a much different task for this defensive line here versus Marcel Reed. What do you see from the Auburn secondary? What do they got to do here? What does a winning stat line look like for this Auburn secondary?
Yeah, look, I think if you can kind of keep it to what it was last week against John Mateer, I think he threw for 270 yards. Keep it in that range. Keep it in the 250 range. Don't let them stretch you for 300, 400 yards like Sawyer Robertson did. I know you came out with the win, but Baylor had zero running game in that game as well. I think A&M will be able to run it a little bit better than Baylor did. The good thing for this Auburn secondary is, like I said, they're back to full strength. They've got Jay Crawford out on the outside. I'm going to be looking for Caleb Harris and those safeties to step up their play. Look, Caleb Harris he's gotten better each and every game, but he kind of started off the season a little slow. I would like to see those safeties and the linebackers over the middle kind of improve in covering that middle of the field. It's kind of just been like an open blanket. South Alabama exploited that Auburn secondary over the middle of the field time and time again. So that's something that I need to see improve today. I think that it helps that you have had games such as Baylor and South Alabama, and obviously against a Heisman favorite like John Mateer to kind of, like I said, exploit you, make you, show you what your weaknesses are. So now that you're going to go up against this Marcel Reed, Mario Craver, and guys like that, kind of what you need to do in order to contain them. I think that, again, got to get some pressure on Marcel Reed and don't let him sit in the pocket. He's not necessarily a guy who's just going to dissect you all over the field necessarily. You mentioned he's a sub 60 completion percentage rate on the year. But again, he will tuck it and run. And Auburn hasn't necessarily had to deal with that all season. I think John Mateer, I think he had like 29 yards on the ground last week on 10 carries, something like that. But either way, they haven't seen such a twitchy, athletic guy who can get out of the pocket and make a play. So that's going to be another thing. It's if Auburn's secondary does have a good downfield coverage, will Auburn's front seven be able to get him on the ground? That's going to be another big question for me in this one. But again, to end it, I think you need to keep this in the 250 to 270 range, and then kind of try to limit Le'Veon Moss and Reed on the ground as well.
Yeah, I agree with that as well too. 250 to 270 would be a decent day versus these wide receivers here. Limit the big plays. You cannot afford to give a bunch of stuff over the top here today, Logan. And keep it in front of you. Bend but don't break. Allowing Texas A&M to score from outside the red zone is going to be absolutely back-breaking for Auburn today. Right. So you cannot let them hit big plays from the 40 for touchdowns. It sounds overly simplistic, but I'm telling you, Auburn's tough if you can force them to get inside the 20 and then try to score. If you're gonna give up big plays outside of that, it's going to be a really long day for Auburn. Two such plays like that, Auburn doesn't have a chance in this game. So
Yeah. This is two teams going up against each other today who are both perfect in the red zone scoring. A&M's converted on all 10 of their games.
Yeah, something's got to give today then, right? Like something's definitely got to give today. Let's get to our comments here. We got about 4 minutes before we get out of here. Lawrence Robinson says we also need to make Reed pay for his bad throws. Yes, you do have to make him pay. Pick the ball off if it's there. Turnovers going to play a factor here. The one Auburn didn't get last week that was overturned maybe ended up being the difference in the game. So you've got to take advantage of turnovers. If he's going to throw it up for grabs, you got to grab it. Otis Smith says we've already played the best offense we're going to go up against. That is a take there. Yeah, I think they were really good. I predicted that the winner would go on to make the college football playoff, but that was with a healthy John Mateer. If he's out for a month, I don't know, that dampens their prospects quite a bit. Otis Smith with a super chat. We appreciate that. The SEC needs to adapt to ACC rules in regards to allowing fans to hear the official reviews of the plays. Okay.
That was very interesting. It's pretty cool getting to see how the behind the scenes is working during those ACC games. I think the Big Ten might do that as well. I could be wrong, but no, that was cool.
Yeah, this is going to be look, they took the unprecedented step of coming out and saying, yo, Oklahoma fans last week, oh, well, we checked with the refs and the ref said it was okay. All right, we buy that. That's probably why the SEC came out and said, yeah, we're punishing them. They told you that they were wrong and we're punishing them for it. So, like, congratulations, you got the refs docked. It's going to be interesting. Ernest Vaughn says Bama got 5 to 6 losses coming. Buck Fama 365 middle finger. All right, he said middle finger to everybody today. They could be 2-2 after today.
They could be. I really don't know who to pick in that one.
I'm picking Georgia. They're the SEC champs.
I picked Georgia, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, you're going to be with us at Media Days next year. I'm telling you now, and you'll get a chance to vote. But I voted Georgia my SEC champion at Media Days, so I expect them to win this game. Efficient Gaming says I agree. Got to win this game or against GA to win 9 games. Okay, right? You got to beat this game or beat Georgia, right? And you got one out of the first 3 SEC games, Logan. That was always the goal, get one of the first 3. So if you can't do that, then it's going to be a rough season. 0-3 is a tough look to start your SEC schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. And it really takes the air out of that win versus Baylor earlier in the season. We're at the 3:30 mark here. The game is set to kick off at 3:40. We're going to let you guys go ahead and get settled in here. Logan Fowler, senior writer at thewarreport.com. Go check out his written work and my written work and Ike's written work. We're putting out all kinds of content for you guys, video, written, audio, all of it. And then come back and check us at halftime. All my members, if you don't have a green name in the chat right now, we'll be member only at halftime. So make sure you sign up so you can be a part of that conversation. Logan, we'll be back at halftime to talk about what we saw from Texas A&M and Auburn. That's it for your War Report pregame show. Auburn, Texas A&M. We'll be back in about 90 minutes. We'll see you guys then, War Eagle.